Hey, Chosen Champs. I hope y'all having a blessed and positive day. So, today I wanted to share a message about saying yes to God, trusting God. Because there's a lot of times that God may tell us to remove something out of our life. There are times when God may tell us to let go of something. And then there's other times where God will just take it away. He will take it away from you. Most recently, I ended up getting evicted from my place. I honestly could not afford it anymore. I wasn't making enough money. I wasn't bringing enough money in to keep up with everything. I was honestly tight. Every time I got paid, it was tight. It was whether the car, whether my home, and once I got behind, it was hard catching up. So I ended up losing my place. But I say that to say that God could have saved me from my place, but he allowed me to get evicted. So as you see, I've been recording in my car a lot lately. But I'm trusting God. I'm trusting God for something new. And that's where real faith happens. Is when God will take the very things that you may have idolized, the very things that you cherished, the very things that you think you will lose your mind if you lose it. He will take those very things away to see if you will still have faith, to see if you will still honor him, to see if you will still praise him, and to see if you will just trust and know that he has a plan for your life. No, it wasn't easy getting evicted. No, it wasn't easy because I have a child, and I'm like, sometimes you're like, Lord, you feel like you're doing all these obedient things, and you're like, Lord, how did this end up happening to me? How did I end up in this situation? And it felt like punishment. It felt like punishment. But I knew God had to do this to shake some things up in me. He had to wake some areas up in me. Because yes, I strive to be more like God. Yes, I strive to be obedient. But there's some areas that God is still working on me with. And one of them is gluttony. He's been working on me heavy with that. And making sure I'm obedient when he tells me to be obedient. Not spending so much time on eating and procrastinating. Spending more time on honoring him and following my dreams like I'm supposed to. Let me turn this light back on. Like I'm supposed to. So it's a lot that God is trying to speak to us. That a lot of times he may take something away, and he may tell you to let something go because it's something that he is trying to do inside of you. And when you go through the hard times, when you go through the hardship, you have a choice to decide. Are you going to turn your back against God, or are you going to lean in him even more? Because there's times when you don't realize you're just worshiping God when everything's going bad. You're coming to God and praying, Lord, change this around. But when things are going good, you ignore him. And then there's other times when things hit you so hard, and then you start getting angry at God, and you start getting mad at God, like, Lord, why is this happening to me? But sometimes we have to do self-reflection. Sometimes we can't throw a pity party, and we have to say, Lord, what are you trying to do in this? What are you trying to teach me in this? What are you trying to show me in this? And I said, Lord, I'm not going to. This channel is for God. This channel is not for me. This channel is to move me out the way and allow God to be glorified. So I'm just here to tell you that even though sometimes you have to say yes, that means you have to, when you say yes to God, that means you have to say no to a lot of things. When you say yes to God, that means you have to say no to a lot of desires that you may have. a lot of things that is not aligning with God's will. So you saying yes to God means saying no to that relationship. Saying yes to God means to say no to that place and you may have to lose it. No to that car, you may have to lose it. No to that job, you may have to lose it. God has been moving me around a lot as far as career-wise and job-wise, because ultimately he created me to be an entrepreneur. Not work a 9 to 5, but that is a process. But everything is a process. But saying yes to God is saying no to a lot of things, and that's where real faith steps in. God still gives me the strength to encourage people in the midst of my storm. We are all going through storms. We are all going through struggles. We are all having ups and downs in our life. But that doesn't stop the mission. You have to stay focused on what God is calling you to. And that is saying yes to his will. And when you say yes, you may lose some things. And yes, it seems unfair. It's like, Lord, this person is doing way worse and I'm losing this. But that's their life. God has a different life for you. God has a different plan for you. God has a different will for your life. And it's tough. Boy, it's tough. It's tough. Being in my situation right now, it is tough. But I'm believing God for more. I'm believing God for new. I'm believing God is going to change my situation around. And that's what you just have to trust. That goes back to, like I always say, even though things may not look like it's going to change, even though the situation may look like you're down in the mud and you keep going in the dirt, and every time you feel like you're moving ahead, it feels like you're getting knocked back down. That's where the true faith steps in. Because even though I may be homeless right now, I still trust and believe God. This thing is real. This relationship with God is real. And it matters. And as long as I have a relationship with God, the material things don't matter. The material things come and go. Your homes come and go. Your jobs come and go. The money come and go. Your clothes come and go. Everything you have comes and goes. But God will never come and go. He's always there. His spirit is always eternal. So that's where my focus is at. But sometimes God got to shake some things up and allow you to lock in even more. Ever since I lost my place, I'm locked in even more on reinventing myself, growing myself spiritually, getting to know God even more. So I can come on here with nothing but truth, nothing but authenticity. Nothing but being authentic. That's it. Because all we can do is be who God has called us to be. And that's what's going on. So you may have to say yes to God. And when you say yes to God, that means no to a lot of other things. But you just trust God. No matter what you're going through, no matter what your walk is, deal with it. Deal with it. God is always by your side, so it doesn't hurt that bad. When you know that you have somebody that has your back, when you know you got somebody that's always there, it makes it easier. It makes it easier. So y'all have a blessed and positive day. And whatever God is telling you to say no to, say no to it and say yes to the life that he is calling you to. But you got to get shaken up. You got to get waking up and just trust him. Peace, y'all.